Welcome to this interview. I've got Natalie Krivoshenko from IBM Mobile Lead for Australia and New Zealand. My name's John Allison from Logical Tech, and we have a partnership with IBM in the mobility solutions space for enterprise. Logical Tech's been 27 years in business solutions for industry and 3 years in mobility, right at the leading edge. It would surprise some organisations, Natalie, that IBM's name features in the leading deliverer, the leading provider of mobility solutions and platforms. How did that come about?
Well, John, it's really interesting that a lot of organisations don't put IBM and mobile in the same sentence. But the fact is that IBM back in the 1990s actually came out with one of the first smartphones. So they've been in the mobile space for a while, but really taken it seriously in those past 12 months. So if you have a look back 12 months ago, we didn't even have the mobile first story to market. So IBM really recognises that in this enterprise space that CIOs have three main concerns, that being big data, cloud and mobile. So when we have a look at the mobile, IBM came out this year with I guess more of a strategy and a capability that's called mobile first. And a lot of organisations go, well, what actually is mobile first? And mobile first really is this capability that IBM is taking to our enterprise clients to really show that we understand that a client's journey in the mobile space is very different. And we recognise that along that journey, they're going to require different solutions. So we have the mobile first capability that we've taken to market, and this really is a set of different solutions that recognises where our organisations are up to in this mobile journey. So for example, there's things like testing. How do I actually test my devices? And there's so many different devices out there. If you have a look at Android, for example, I was reading the other day, there's 3,000 different types of Android OSs. So how do I actually test for all of those? It also takes into consideration analytics. So I've actually got my device out there on the market, but actually how are people using it? And it's not just about how many times it's been downloaded or where it's been downloaded from and how many times it's being used, but how is the actual user using it on the screen? Where are they actually touching? Where are those heat maps? Where are they getting stuck? So it's really a lot of those analytics side of things that really take mobile to that next level. And of course, part of that solution too is what we have. It's called Worklight. And Worklight really is, I guess, the hub of our mobile first story. And Worklight is what the industry knows as a mobile application development platform.
Mm-hmm. So what does that do for an organisation? Where does Worklight fit?
So Worklight, being a mobile application development platform, really takes into consideration what organisations and enterprises are doing in the mobile space. So if you have a look at Gartner, for example, so Gartner used to have two different types of mobile application platforms that they used to rate. Mm-hmm. So it used to be an enterprise application and then a consumer as well. What Gartner have obviously realised is that organisations don't want to be implementing 2-3 different types of platforms. They actually want to implement one platform, so really that total cost of ownership, that return on investment, that future-proofing my IT investment is that one platform. So recently Gartner came out with its latest Magic Quadrant, and where IBM actually sits with Worklight in that is in that top right-hand corner of being a leader. So Gartner clearly recognises that Worklight and IBM is a leader in this space, and if we have a look 12 months ago, it actually was sitting in the visionary. So it really highlights the huge investment that IBM is making in this platform, because we see that this really is key fundamental platform for organisations in their mobile journey.
Great. And that's a global investment, and we've recognised the value of that with our field tracker solutions, mm-hmm. and seen the growth path and mm-hmm. the value of putting that in mm-hmm. enterprise solutions as well. So very important for us with the field force solutions we've got. What are the benefits of Worklight for enterprises?
So one thing I don't like that people call Worklight is just purely a development platform. So whilst it is a mobile application development platform, it's not just that. I like to see it more of a life cycle management. When you have a look at any application that you put out into, whether it be Google Store or into the Apple App Store, There's always going to be refinements and continual looking at that application. So it really is about that life cycle management. If you have a look when organisations typically go down this path of app development, quite often they'll look at natively and they say, okay, well, this is my price to develop this app natively. What quite often they do is fail to realise what actually is going to be going on in the back end. We often talk about the 30% and the 70%. So 30% is, that user experience, because apps are all about user experience and engagement. So they really focus on that, but quite often organisations fail to see that 70% in the back end going, well, actually, how am I going to manage it connecting to different back-end systems? Because whilst my app only connects into one back-end system today, I'm actually going to want to make enhancements in this application, and there's going to be more back-ends that I'm going to want to connect to. It also does things like, well, how do I actually version control? If any organisation, this can be a really big issue. I know myself, I'm notorious for not updating my apps. I think I have 16 sitting there right now that I haven't updated. Because if it works for me as a user, I don't bother updating it. But what if there's an actual security breach for that organisation and that application? Well, how do they actually enforce users to actually have that latest version? So Worklight does a lot of that version control. Worklight also starts to integrate with things like the analytics part of mobile first, which is the tea leaf, and also things like the rational testing. So Worklight actually starts bringing these into it too. One of the other things that is really important, and I've noticed, especially in the enterprise and in that business to enterprise application space, is offline capabilities. So we can never guarantee that we're going to have connectivity all the time. Especially when we talk about field tracker.
Yeah, out in the field. Yeah.
Exactly right. We don't know where these people are going to be out in the field, and that we can't actually stop them from doing their work. So we want to be able to have offline capabilities in a secure fashion. And that's one of the other things, is all about the security. I often say, and I wrote a blog a couple of months ago going, somebody somewhere within your business is doing something in the mobile space. Right? It's naive to think that they're not. So my whole thing is, don't stifle innovation. Allow your organisation to go and innovate, and that's what mobile is all about. It's all about the engaging with the user and being able to innovate.
Yeah, I'm sure we connect with that. With Field Tracker, as you know, we've got a bit of a rush of organisations recognising saving 80% of their development costs with a platform that provides both custom and out-of-the-box type solutions, and they can choose. Very important to get business processes right.
Absolutely.
Save money and save data errors, transcription errors. Yeah. Get rid of hundreds of spreadsheets and clipboards and so on with such convenient devices. But having at the same time the enterprise in mind, so that the risks of apps out there and users with apps doing things that they shouldn't do get minimised. And so for us, with Field Tracker, we're just really confident that Worklight provides that platform that enterprises can really trust. So how do you see as a partner with us, and we really appreciate that partnership with IBM, how do you see the vision for Field Tracker and Worklight moving forward?
So Field Tracker, firstly, congratulations on it, because I think it's actually a really wonderful application, and the feedback that we're getting from clients who are using it has been really, really positive, so that's well done on that.
Thank you.
I really think taking Field Tracker and Worklight into organisations really recognises that an organisation isn't just going to be developing one application.
Yeah.
So whilst Field Tracker today really satisfies the need for those field force workers, implementing Worklight as well as Field Tracker, what you're going to get is, okay, well, that's what I'm doing today, but what am I doing in 6 months' time, or even in a month's time? I'm going to be wanting to develop other applications. So by implementing the two, you're satisfying your requirements for today and also future-proofing what you're going to be wanting to do in the future. And I mentioned about not stifling innovation. So you're putting in some sort of governance and control, going, yes, here is a platform, here is an application in Field Tracker that you can use today. But whether it be marketing or the finance area or operations or the warehouse who want to develop further applications, they've actually got a platform that's there that they can actually develop further on and really utilise and that investment that they've already made. And also from a total cost of ownership, they're not managing different platforms, and they're not managing different applications. So I think the two together is quite strategic for an organisation, and really looks at not just today but in the future as well.
Fabulous, Natalie. Thank you, and thanks for the partnership. We value it so much because it's making a difference to organisations with lots of field activities, and that's the expertise we have in the place that we're playing in. So
Absolutely.
I look forward to many new opportunities in the next months and years. Thank you.
Thank you.